Welcome back to Miss Lisa's Math and Science channel. We are doing Algebra 2. We are learning to use our TI-84 graphing calculator, and we're going to do absolute value. I'm going to show you how to graph absolute value things on your TI-84 graphing calculator. This will actually work most of what I'm going to show you with an 82 or an 83, but not everything is on not all the shortcuts. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do it. So anyway, this class is designed primarily for homeschoolers, but if you like the way I explain how to use the calculator, please come back, like, share, and subscribe. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers so I can do YouTube live and not have to record it and then upload it, because sometimes I run into little problems with my phone not having enough memory. So anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to graph some absolute value equations. Now, if you've got this book, this is McDougall-Littell, Algebra 2 from about 2004, and I like it just because it has these things, these calculator labs where they teach you how to use the calculator. I think they're real clear. But what we're going to do today is not one of those. It's just one of the pages. We're going to do page 126. But it's got other things beyond the calculator lab videos where in the text it's got little calculators and they tell you to do certain things on the calculator. And some of these aren't as explained as well as the calculator labs, but they do, but I make videos to explain it. So if you got the money and you can find this book used, it's an old public school book, usually for $15 or less. Sometimes you can even find it for like $8 on eBay, Amazon, Algebra, places like that, Better World Books, some of those used textbook places. It's just a great book, and I highly recommend you get it because I've tutored out of this book for years, and it really helps with college algebra. So kids who are struggling in college algebra, I always recommend they get this book, and usually their grades go right on up because it's such a great book. So and I get no money from them selling this book. That was just free advertisement. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to graph this equation. I'm going to do some of the evens, and I'll save the odds for you so that I don't take all your fun. The odds have the answers in the back of the book, so that's why you always do the odds, so you can do one and check it, do one and check it. So I'm going to do number 26. Okay, so I'm going to do this on my calculator. So first I turn it on, and now it's on my regular math screen. That's not what we need. We need the graphing. So we go to y equals, that button right there. I've got stuff in there from the last calculator video. We don't need that. So I'm going to use that button clear and get rid of it. So far so good. The next thing is I'm going to put in this equation, the absolute value of x plus 4. And I have to get those absolute value bars. Now, there's 3 places you can get them from. The first one is where you can always find everything, and it's right here. It's the second of 0. See how it's got painted on the back right there? Catalog. Oh, I think my hand was blocking it. Sorry about that. High quality video here. So right there, it's got painted on the calculator. Catalog. So if you go second 0, you get to the catalog, and right there it is, abs. That's not talking about your stomach muscles. Nope, that's absolute value. So we can select it from there. Okay, I'm going to show you another way. So I'm not going to select it because I'm going to show you 3 ways. Another way to do it is to go to the math button, which I always say is the ironic button because aren't they all math? Okay, so we can go to the math button, and then if you arrow over using your arrow keys to number, which is kind of funny because aren't they all numbers? The first selection is abs again, absolute value. Now there's a third way if you've got the TI-84, and if you have a newer one, it's already there. If you have an older one, you might have to update your calculator. How you update your calculator is you go to the TI-84 website, you register as a teacher or get your parent to register as a teacher because you're learning this at home. So this is homeschool. So even if you're a public school kid, you're learning this with me. I'm not your regular teacher. So I'm homeschooling you for this. So you or your parent can register as a teacher without feeling guilty. And then you can download programs and you can download updates. So go do that because you want to have these updates that are the shortcut menus. Okay, so where the shortcut menu is you go, so I'm going to get out of this one. I'm going to second mode, which is quit. And I'm going to show you, go back to y equals. I'm going to show you another place to get here. And that's where you do alpha. Whoops, not there. Clear that out. Clear. Is it not going to do it? Yeah. Alpha. And I'm going to do, this is how you get to your shortcut menus. So alpha y equals is where you get to fractions. Then I can go over to alpha window, number 1, absolute value. So this is, we'll be doing a lot of these. We're going to do summations. We're going to do logs. We're going to do these statistics things. So you need to get these little shortcut windows working, and they'll work for any TI-84. But for the older ones, you have to download an update. So we could do alpha zoom, and that's our matrices. And there are some other things there. Okay, so I'm going to quit out of that. And I need to pick one of these. So I'm going to do, I'll do the shortcut menu. So I'm going to do alpha window. And I'm going to just hit enter. On any of these, you just hit enter. And that gives you your absolute value bars. Now, if your calculator's old, instead of doing the bars, it might say abs with parentheses. It's the same thing. It works the same way. So what's supposed to go in my absolute value bars is X, and that button right there is X. So press it, and there it is. And now I arrow over to get out of the absolute value bars because the rest of my equation is +4 and it's not in the absolute value bars. Okay, so now I graph it, and we could check our window, but I just always like to graph first and see, you know, get on in there and see if the window's good or not waste time. And there it is. And then the next thing they want us to do is they want to know what is the answer when y is 10. And how you do that is the trace button. And the trace button is real important because once you graph it, you use the trace button and you can get your if-then window. And you could say, you know, if x is 0, y is 4. And then you say, well, what about if x is 1? You push 1, enter, and it says if x is 1, y is 5. Well, what about if x is 2? If x is 2, y is 6. Well, what about if x is -1? The negative is right here, 1. I hit enter. It's on the bottom, and then it tells me the answer. So this is how you get your if-then chart, how you get your points so that you can get it from your calculator to your piece of graph paper to turn it into your teacher. Because you can't go show your teacher your calculator and go, did I see, look, I graphed it. Nope. You have to have a way to turn it in. You have to actually make it into a graph. And you're not allowed to just draw a sloppy little line on your graph paper. You have to plot points, and you have to have your little list of points, which I call the if-then chart. So the one they wanted us to do is, what about to find out 10. No, they didn't want, I did it wrong. I did it if x is 10. They want to know what is x when y is 10. So I got to find, so when x is 10, y is 14. So I need something smaller than that. So I'm going to jump down to 8. And that's 12. That's not good enough. So now I'm going to try 6. And there it is. Dun. If x is 6, y is 10. Now, another way you can get that without just trying things the way I did is you can go to table, do second graph, and you can see a table, and we can look and see that when y is 10, x is 6. Now, a lot of my kids who I teach prefer getting their if-then chart off the table because they're like, Miss Blackburn, it's already here. You just pick some of them. I don't like the table so much. I'm very visual, so I like seeing the graph and seeing the little thing bounce around, the little blinky thing. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Do the little blinky thing. I forgot to hit trace. And see where it is. I'm very visual, so I want to see that little blinking dot. But some of my own kids who like math and science and are math majors and science majors in college, they prefer the table feature, but I like the trace one. All right, so that's lots of fun. You do the other ones. Okay, and let me show you. See how this one, it says y is 3/2. See, that's a little bit easier to find to me using the graph instead of the table. But what you do if you're, let me do this one for you too. Okay, so it's y equals 15 times the absolute value of x. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to clear out what's in it. I'm going to put in my new equation, 15, and I'm going to do it this time from the catalog. And it is, I put x in the inside. That's my equation that they asked me to do, and I'm going to graph it. And it might be so far up that you don't see it. Nope, there it is. And they want to know what do we put in to get y to be 3/2? Well, we could actually do the table feature here. So I'm going to go to table, and I can see that it goes from 0 to 15 on each side. So I've got to get my table way more fine than that. I can't move in such big chunks. So how you change that is second window where it says table set. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my table, and I can tell that my answer is going to be somewhere very small. So I might change that table to start at, and my y is positive. So I'm going to just go ahead and have my table start at 0. So I'm just looking at the positive numbers. And I need this to be smaller. So instead of my triangle in math and science means change or difference in. So my change in table, I'm going to do it to 1/2 and try that instead. So now I'm going to go back to second graph to table, and I can see that and I have it changing by 1/2, and I can see that I did better now. It goes from 0 to 7.5, but I need it even smaller. I need to know what it is when it's 3/2. So I'm going to go back to table set, and I'm going to change it to 0.1. And you don't have to erase or anything. You just write over it to do it. And now I'm going to go back to table, and I see there it is, dun, 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 y is 1.5 when x is 0.1. Now in the book, they have it written as fractions. And what if you didn't know that 0.1 is 1/10? How you do that is you get out of this, do second quit, put in that 0.1 in your regular math screen and hit enter, and then go here to the math button, which is funny because aren't they all math? And your first selection is turn it into a fraction. I hit enter, and it tells me that it's 1/10. And because it's absolute value and the graph goes, come on back graph, it goes both ways, then I know that the answer is -10th and +10th. And I could see that if I go back to table set and I change my startup to, say, -1. We'll try that. And I go back to my table. Back to my table, not my graph. Then I could see that it's 1.5 at -1/10 and 1/10. Do you see those? All right, so I think these are fun. I think it's so fun that my calculator will do it for me. I think it's really the most fun part of math is getting to use the calculator. So have fun. Remember, math is great, and I need you to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. See you later.